Good evening and welcome. My name is Dan Lehrfeld, President of the Society of Columbia Graduates and an alumnus of the class of 1964 of the Fu Foundation School of Engineering and Applied Science, commonly known as SEAS around the campus. Each year since 1949, we've honored one faculty member within Columbia College and one from within SEAS with our Society's Great Teacher Award. This evening, we'll be presenting to our 2020 and 2021 recipients in the 72nd and 73rd consecutive years of these awards. Over the decades, this event has taken place in many different venues, always as a catered in-person event. Necessary restrictions during the pandemic caused the indefinite postponement of our event scheduled for last June. Since then, virtual activities have become the norm for everyone. So thank you, Dean Boyce, Dean Valentini, thank you, Alumni Relations, and thank you, Zoom, for enabling us to proceed with our event this evening. I'm especially happy that our two 2020 recipients, Professor Farah Griffin and Professor Rocco Cervedio, will at last receive their awards. And I'm happy too that our 2021 recipients, Associate Professor Noam Elcott and Associate Professor Adam Elmastube, get to receive theirs within a normal time frame. Every week I get more optimistic that next year we'll once again be meeting in person. Let me briefly tell you about our society. During the last decades of the 19th century, long before the advent of single school-centric alumni organizations, let alone today's university-wide global Columbia Alumni Association, there were small alumni societies representing a particular decade or group of years that typically met once a year for dinner. One such group in 1909 decided to incorporate as a not-for-profit entity in New York State as the Society of Older Graduates of Columbia University. Membership was offered to Columbia undergraduate alumni 30 years after graduation in recognition of their service to the university. In later years, the eligibility period was reduced to 25 years and then to 10. The first president of the society was John Van Amringe, class of 1860 and the first Columbia College dean on the new Morningside campus. The first honorary member of the society was Dean Emeritus Charles Chandler, chair of the chemistry department and first dean for 35 years of the School of Mines, the precursor of SEAS. In 1949, the board of the society did something radical and unprecedented. It established the Great Teacher Awards, the first ever award for teaching. Candidates are nominated by the deans and selected by the society based on criteria including the professor's ability to stimulate, challenge, and inspire undergraduate students, for their demonstrated interest in students, and the ability to relate positively to students outside the classroom, and also for their recognized high standing in their respective academic disciplines. Please put up the photo of the award display in Butler Library. Thank you. The two bronze award plaques in the photo are located in the Rosencrantz Reading Room on the first floor of Butler. Every award recipient's name and award year are inscribed on a bronze plate and mounted on the award plaque. In 1992, the Society commissioned Columbia Professor of the Arts Stanley Wyatt, Columbia College class of 43, to create the sculpture of the teaching lion, which you can see mounted above the bronze plaques. You might also be interested to know that Professor Wyatt's son, Gregory Wyatt, Columbia class of 71, is a sculptor of international renown who created the sculpture of the Scholars Lion on the upper campus outside of Havermeyer Hall, as well as the monumental Peace Fountain sculpture located in the garden beside the Cathedral of St. John the Divine. The teaching lion is the emblem of the society. Each recipient of the award receives a desktop-sized statuette of the teaching lion and a folio containing their award citation and hand-lettered award scroll. Each recipient of the Great Teacher Award also becomes an honorary member of the Society of Columbia Graduates. In the upper left-hand corner of the left plaque, you'll see a small box. I'd often wondered what that signified. It turns out that there are 8 individuals there being honored for their roles in transitioning what was a small liberal arts college during the latter half of the 19th century into 2 schools with greater depth and breadth than before in both the arts and sciences and in the fields of engineering and applied science. These 8 include Deans Van Amringe and Chandler, Thomas Eggleston, who formulated the plan for creating the School of Mines, and 5 men who were the first chairs of the departments of chemistry, physics, geology, mechanics, and mining engineering. Please take down the photo. The endless parade of the teaching lions behind me represents the human assets underpinning this college and sees its best teachers. I'll share a secret with you. There has never been a year in which it was difficult, let alone not possible, to find a deserving recipient for our award, nor will there likely ever be such a year. The challenge is not finding a deserving recipient. The challenge is which deserving recipient do we select? As the old saying goes, it's a good problem to have. In our webinar setting this evening, we can't see our attendees and you can't see each other. I know that many are alumni celebrating their classes' reunions in a virtual setting, as we are with our event. I welcome you all and thank you for attending. I would also like to personally welcome several special attendees. This year, as always, we appreciate Dean of C's Mary Boyce and Dean of Columbia College, James Valentini, taking time from their busy schedules to bring their greetings to our society and our recipients. And we also welcome C's Senior Executive Vice Dean and soon to be Interim Dean of C's, Shifu Chang. I'll invite our deans to speak in a moment, starting with Dean Boyce. But first, I'd like to also acknowledge and give a welcome to several other special attendees. Columbia College Dean of Academic Affairs, Lisa Hollabaugh, Vice President and Dean of the Faculty of Arts and Sciences, Professor Amy Hungerford, Chair of the Department of English and Comparative Literature, Professor Alan Stewart, Chair of the Department of Art History and Archaeology, Professor Michael Cole, Chair of the Department of Industrial Engineering and Operations Research, and our 2017 C's Great Teacher Award recipient, Professor J. Setharaman, 2017 Columbia College Great Teacher Award recipient, Professor Patricia Kitcher, 2019 C's recipient and Vice Dean of Undergraduate Programs, Professor Barclay Morrison, and 2019 College Great Teacher recipient and Vice Chair of the Department of Music, Professor Giuseppe Gerbino. As a C's graduate who was serving on the Department of Mechanical Engineering's advisory board during the last decade, I was aware of the many resource issues and challenges C's had been confronting for several years. Then in 2013, a northeasterly wind carried in a Mary Poppins-like dynamo who would immediately set to work in addressing and solving these important issues, while unifying the school under a master plan in sync with the rapidly evolving nature of the interconnections between the schools and the university. As most of you know, this July, Dean Boyce will step out of her role as Dean of C's and bring her leadership gifts to her new role as Columbia University's provost. We wish her continued success. Dean Boyce, welcome.
Thank you, Dan. Can everyone hear me? Yes? Okay. So good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm really honored to be here today as we recognize 4 of our finest teachers. This year, as Dan indicated, we're combining our 2020 and 2021 Great Teacher Award ceremony. And so we have more excellence to recognize and celebrate. And it'd be wonderful to see their names on the plaque at Butler for, that's emblazoned there forever, which is so wonderful. On the college side, we are honoring Farah Jasmine Griffin and Noam Elcott. And for engineering, Professors Rocco Cervedio and Adam Almoktub. Adam, I will get your last name's pronunciation right one of these days. So I'd like to thank the Society of Columbia graduates for support and celebration of Columbia's outstanding teachers. Great teachers attract great students, and they inspire them by their passion for their subject and by their example. The impact that our teachers have in the lives of our students is incalculable. They are first and foremost the point of contact students have with the university. They're the people that inspire our students, encourage them, and challenge them. And they are what our students will remember most vividly when they think back on their days at Columbia. So those of you here celebrating your reunion are probably reflecting on some of the great teachers you had during your time here. We're fortunate to be part of a dynamic community that is also a worldwide network. Columbia has a reputation for excellence around the world, and a big reason for that is our students who go on to be our alumni. And these alumni will always remember the faculty who helped mentor them and guide them through their time at Columbia. We see our faculty's greatness on full display in today's honorees. I'd like to say a few words about our engineering honorees. I'll start with some words on Professor Cervedio, on Rocco, and then Shifu Chang will join me and speak about Adam Almoktub. So let me talk about Rocco a bit. Professor Rocco Cervedio is a professor of computer science, and he's also serving as chair of our computer science department. And he joined our faculty in 2003. Prior to that, he was an NSF mathematical sciences postdoc at Harvard. Professor Cervedio focuses on computational learning theory and computational complexity. He's interested in the foundational questions of understanding what types of learning problems have and do not have computationally efficient algorithms. A major goal of his research is the design and the analysis of computationally efficient algorithms for challenging learning problems involving noisy data and complex target functions. He also studies the related area of low-level computational models, such as decision trees, shallow circuits, and low-degree polynomials. Professor Cervedio received his AB in mathematics and PhD in computer science from Harvard. He was also awarded the NSF Career Award and also a Sloan Foundation Fellowship. He's a beloved professor, and you will hear his citation later in the program. And he has inspired many students to pursue theoretical computer science, an area that our computer science department is particularly well known for. Rocco, on behalf of the faculty, our alumni, and all of your students, we're so grateful for all that you do, and not only in your research, but in your inspirational teaching of our students. Congratulations on this well-deserved honor. It's now my pleasure to turn the mic over, or the Zoom over. And of course, Zoom is also a computer science development. I will now turn the Zoom over to Shifu Chang.
Thank you so much, Mary. And hello, everyone. I'm Shifu Chen. I'm so happy to have the chance to say a few words for my dear colleague, Adam Almoktub, our great teacher for 2021. Adam is associate professor in the Department of Industrial Engineering and Operation Research, IEOR for short. Adam's research is focused on design of new approaches for supply chain and revenue management, especially when these two areas overlap and collide. He has designed new algorithms for managing inventory and pricing decisions under different complex environments. His research also leveraged data to facilitate informed decisions in industries such as retail, logistics, and travel. And we all know during this COVID pandemic period, these are extremely important areas. Adam received his BS degree from Cornell and his PhD degree from MIT, both in operations research. He has received an NSF Career Award, IBM Faculty Award, and was on Forbes 30 Under 30 in the science category. Adam is actively involved in key aspects of undergraduate student experience, including teaching, advising, and curriculum development, as well as helping students to cultivate their research interest and mentor their research project to a successful state and gain a wonderful experience for their success in the future career. He is a supervisor for the IEOR student organization called CU, Columbia University Informs, which is a very active community that focuses on operations research and analytics. And these have various important applications with great impacts on the society. As an advisor, he helped IEOR students cultivate a strong community through friendship, mentorship, and leadership. Adam, you are a true asset and wonderful asset for our school and for our community. And thank you so much for what you have done for our students. A big congratulations to you. Thank you. Now let me turn it over to Dean Jean Valentini. Back to you, Jean.
Thank you, Shifu. So it's my pleasure to be with you this evening, to share this experience, even though I can't see you. It's wonderful that we can do this. I think this is a very special year to be awarding the Teaching Lion, given the enormous efforts our faculty have made over the last 447 days in which Columbia College and Columbia Engineering have been disrupted by this pandemic. So many faculty have put so much effort into maintaining the quality of our education, the quality of our experience, and it gives me great pleasure to recognize two in particular who have not only this year, but in every year made such a remarkable contribution to the lives of our students. Each of them is truly a teaching lion. I know each of them personally and have known each for a very long time and can certainly testify to that. I also want to first congratulate the Society of Columbia Graduates for another year and their long and successful history of promoting alumni engagement and support of alumni, and also support of Columbia Engineering and Columbia College in many ways, especially through these Great Teacher Awards. And I want to welcome all of you and thank all of you who are participating in your reunion this year, the second year that we have had virtual reunion. I hope that is the last year we have virtual reunion, because we're all eager to get back together again and see one another. Let me then turn to our awardees. The 2020 Great Teacher Award recipient in Columbia College is Professor Farah Jasmine Griffin. Professor Griffin is the chair of the Department of African American and Africa Diaspora Studies. Most significantly, she is the founding chair of this department. This is our newest department, and she took on this new role as a heroic effort given the circumstances of our world, our university, our college in the last year and a half. She is also the William B. Ransford Professor of English and Comparative Literature and African American Studies. And she is also an affiliate of the faculty of the Center for Jazz Studies. Farah has been at Columbia for 2 decades now. She came here from the University of Pennsylvania. Her fields of interest are American and African American literature, music, and history. She has published widely on issues of race, gender, feminism, jazz, and culture, but she has also collaborated on 2 theatrical projects. The first, Jerry Allen and Friends Celebrate the Great Jazz Women of Apollo, premiered at the Apollo Theater in 2013. The second, A Conversation with Mary Lou, premiered at the Harlem Stage in 2014 and was later performed at the John F. Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. in 2016. She is a frequent radio commentator on political and cultural issues, but most importantly, she is a great teacher with a great dedication to our students, puts our students foremost in everything she does, no matter what other activities she has. She is a phenomenal scholar. She brings that scholarship into the classroom and into mentorship of our students every day. Professor Griffin received her bachelor's degree in American history from Harvard and her PhD in American history from Yale. The 2021 Great Teacher Award recipient in Columbia College is Noam Elcott. Noam is Associate Professor of Modern and Contemporary Art and Media in the Department of Art History and Archaeology. He also has just completed his service as the Chair of Art Humanities, the Sobel Dunn Chair for Art Humanities, an important component of our core curriculum. He is the co-director of the Columbia Center for Comparative Media and co-director of the MoMA Columbia August Sander Project. He is an internationally leading historian of modern art and media. He teaches, writes, and advises students in the history of modern art and media in Europe and North America, with an emphasis on early 20th century art, photography, and film. His research and teaching combine close visual analysis with media, archaeology, and critical theory. Noam did a phenomenal task for us being Columbia College and Columbia University, in leading the first major revision of the core curriculum of art humanities in decades. This was a mammoth and well needed reform that Noam took on and was indefatigable in leading it, met lots of challenges and always overcome every single challenge to develop through collaboration with his colleagues in art history and a collaboration with us in Columbia College, a wonderful new curriculum for art humanities that is a substantial improvement for the experience of our students in the core curriculum. He is an alumni of Columbia College, class of 2000, and describes himself as a product of the core curriculum, and he has given back very greatly to that core curriculum. After receiving his PhD at Columbia College, he received his MA and PhD in art history from Princeton University. Congratulations to both Farah and Noam, two of our most wonderful faculty members who are richly deserving of this award. And I am grateful to the Society of Columbia Graduates for choosing them and for bestowing this great honor on them. Thank you very much.
Good evening. My name is David Filosa, College 82. I am the co-chair of the events committee along with Alan Citron, and I welcome everyone here again to tonight's ceremony. I want to thank Dean Valentini, Dean Boyce, and Dean Shifu Chang for their remarks. I would just echo that I am not surprised that as Columbians, everyone has risen to the challenge, whether it be the professors, the administration, or the alumni. So I fully support and endorse that view. Now is the time where we will move on to the presentation of the awards to our 2020 award recipients. And to begin that, we will start with Alex Ned. Alex.
Hello, I'm Alex Ned, C's class of 87 and 90, and it is my great pleasure to read the citation of Professor Acker Saverio. Today, the Society of Columbia Graduates honors you for your outstanding teaching accomplishments in the field of computer science and for your commitment to shaping undergraduate education at the Fu Foundation School of Engineering and Applied Science. You completed your undergraduate education at Harvard University, earning your AB in mathematics summa cum laude in 1993, after which you were awarded your MS in computer science in 1997. You received your PhD in computer science in 2001 from Harvard University as well. You have been actively involved at Columbia with an impressive commitment to the university at every level of service. You have acted as a member at large for the Fu Foundation School of Engineering and Applied Science Executive Committee, served as a representative for the Joint Quantum Initiative Task Force, and have been a search committee member responsible for hiring a Barnett Assistant Professor of Computer Science. You have also reached beyond the classroom to inspire K-8 students at the school at Columbia University in Morningside Heights, where you volunteered at an after-school enrichment program introducing computer science concepts to grade school children. You also designed and supervised an interactive science exhibit on great questions in theoretical computer science as part of the school-wide science festival held at the School at Columbia in 2010, 2012, 2014, and 2016. Your excellence in the classroom has been widely regarded for your undergraduate students as exemplary and worthy of recognition. You have introduced a new area scholarship to Columbia called computational learning theory. The field of data science has embraced this new area of scholarship as an important contribution to its mission. You teach undergraduate courses entitled Introduction to Computational Learning Theory and Introduction to Computational Complexity Theory. You have been previously recognized for outstanding teaching with 3 prestigious teaching awards at Columbia, receiving the 2010 Department of Computer Science Faculty Teaching Award, the 2010 Columbia Engineering Teaching Award, and in 2013, you were honored with the Columbia University Presidential Teaching Award. You have had a tremendous impact on our undergraduate students in Columbia over the past 17 years. Many have been inspired to pursue graduate degrees and pursue careers in research as a result of your passion for teaching. The courses you teach are some of the most challenging ones in the field of computer science, and you have the unique ability to make the most difficult concepts understandable and fascinating for all the students. Your students praise your teaching style in the highest terms. Comments such as, "No words, amazing. One of the best teaching experiences of my life. Explains incredibly complex concepts in a clear and intuitive way. Perfect teacher, very clear, approachable, and devoted to his students. And the best professor I have ever taken a course with," are among the wonderful comments your students make when asked about your opinions, the opinions of your teaching abilities. In recognition of your outstanding accomplishments as a gifted and inspirational teacher, your deep devotion to undergraduate education at Columbia, and your important contributions to curriculum development, the Society of Columbia Graduates is honored to present you with its 2020 Great Teacher Award.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Alex, for those extremely kind words. I'm a little overwhelmed. I want to make sure I get the teaching lion onto the camera, at least for a moment. I'd like to thank Dan, David, Dean Boyce, Dean Valentini, Senior Executive Vice Dean Chang, and everyone at the Society of Columbia Graduates for this recognition. I'm really honored to be a recipient of the Great Teacher Award. Of course, I've passed by the plaque and the teaching lion sculpture in Butler Library many times, and I've noted the names of many people I recognize in my department and other departments. I know them all to be amazing teachers, so I'm really honored and humbled to be a part of that group. And I know the next time I go to Butler, I'm sure I'll go looking for my own name on the plaque. I also want to thank the guests who took time out of their day today to come and join this celebration. I come from a family of teachers. My mother and my aunt, who are among the guests here today, are both teachers, and there are other teachers in my family as well, including my father, who received a PhD from Columbia many years ago. So being recognized for teaching here at Columbia is really very meaningful to me. I think being a professor at a place like Columbia has to be one of the very best jobs in the whole world, and teaching is one of the best parts of that job. You're getting paid to talk to really smart people about things that you're deeply interested in, and hopefully they're interested too. That's part of the job, to get them interested. It's hard for me to see how anything can get much better than that. Of course, faculty at Columbia also spend a lot of time and effort on their research, and teaching is a great counterpoint to research. It complements it well. When you're doing research, sometimes it's like you're kind of feeling your way through a cave. You're not sure where you're going, how the journey is going to turn out, are you going to reach your goal, or are you going to hit a dead end? Teaching is a little bit more predictable. It's kind of like a walk down a familiar road or a trail that you've been down before. But sometimes you still encounter surprises, and I find that I always learn from my students when I'm teaching them, which is really wonderful. For me, teaching helps lead to interesting research questions. My teaching has had a big impact on my research, and in turn, my research informs and I think improves my teaching. So it's kind of a virtuous cycle in both directions. Finally, I want to close by stating my general and very heartfelt thanks to all the students at Columbia who I've taught over the years. Many of them are Columbia graduates by now, and the rest of them, of course, will be Columbia graduates pretty soon. The students are, of course, what teaching is really all about. It's great to watch them grow. It's great to help them learn and to feel like I'm participating in some way in that process. But I also have to say, the older I get, the more I appreciate spending time with students, energetic, passionate, engaged young people. This really helps me continue to feel young. So that's another wonderful thing for me about teaching, and I want to thank my students for that. So again, thank you very much for this recognition. I really appreciate it. It means a great deal to me. Thank you very much.
Everyone. My name is Anna Salper, a college class of 1996, and I'm honored today to present the award to Professor Farah Griffin. Professor Griffin, today, the Society of Columbia Graduates honors you for your exceptional teaching accomplishments and unwavering commitment to undergraduate education at Columbia College. Professor of English and Comparative Literature and African American Studies, and Professor of African American and African Diaspora Studies, you have been an inspiration to your students, providing them with a profound appreciation and understanding of the power of identity, and community. You graduated with honors from Harvard College in 1986 and earned your PhD in American Studies from Yale University in 1992. Since joining the Columbia faculty in 2001, you have been an instrumental member of the university community. You served as the Director, Institute for Research in African American Studies from 2003 to 2006, and again from 2009 to 2010. You were the guiding force behind the creation of a new African American and African Diaspora Studies Department at Columbia and are serving as an inaugural chair. You are also affiliate faculty of the Center for Jazz Studies. You have taught courses in the areas of African American literature, music, history, and politics, often with a focus on a particular topic, such as justice or girlhood. You have also taught the core curriculum's literature humanities class. You have helped shape how African American studies are taught to a new generation of Columbia students. Your classes are always filled to capacity, evidence of your ability to inspire students year after year. One student described your class as a course that has literally transformed my academic and personal trajectory, while another student said her teaching style embraces the idea that all students can and will not only learn, but also think. She let me show her that I can do what she thought I could. Students frequently speak of your ability to engage them in vibrant intellectual discussions, with one student saying, Professor Griffin really knows how to facilitate your learning and own ways of thinking. She makes you feel comfortable enough to voice your thoughts, even when they don't make sense in your own head, and then pick out the gold nuggets of information amidst the mess. Your devotion to students extends beyond the class. Your time mentoring undergraduates individually, whether on their thesis work or on career plans. You even make time to attend events with prospective students to encourage them to attend Columbia. As acknowledgement of this extraordinary effort, you received the LenFest Distinguished Faculty Award in 2006, honoring a professor who demonstrates unusual merit in scholarship, university citizenship, and professional involvement, placing a primary emphasis on the instruction and mentoring of undergraduate and graduate students. You have been widely published in countless journals on issues of race and gender, feminism, jazz, and cultural politics. You have authored numerous books, including Who Set You Flowin', The African American Migration Narrative, If You Can't Be Free, Be a Mystery in Search of Billie Holiday, and Harlem Nocturne, Women Artists and Progressive Politics During World War II. You have said, I hope to live to see the world my students create. As their teacher, I will do all I can to make sure they are able to do so. Professor Griffin, we hope this award serves as a testament to the fact that you have already done that for so many students at Columbia. In recognition of your outstanding accomplishments as an inspirational and devoted teacher, a pioneer in your field, and a renowned scholar, the Society of Columbia Graduates is honored to present you with its 20 Great Teacher Award. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much. So much. I'm quite overwhelmed by your comments. I want to express my gratitude to the Society for this beautiful, beautiful award, and to extend my congratulations to my fellow awardees. I am so honored to be the recipient of this prestigious recognition of my work with students. Few awards could be as meaningful to me. My students, past and present, inspire and engage me daily. In addition to my books, most of which have their start in the classroom, the opportunity to teach my students has been the greatest gift of a full and rich career. I have always known this, but during this difficult time of the pandemic, the importance of the classroom and my students became even more evident. This crisis, and also the crisis of racial injustice that we all experienced, provided us, my students and I, with the opportunity to build community in a different way, to engage our creativity, to hone our thinking skills in ways that we could never have imagined. And in a strange way, the Zoom classroom became a kind of oasis of sorts, where we encountered and discussed the difficult, the painful, the beautiful in each class session. I've been so inspired by my students, so much so that I published a short essay about teaching during the pandemic, and one sentence from that essay stands out and continues to ring true. I wrote, "With careful consideration of the books and for each other, with a strong desire to help heal the world in which we live, my students and I went to work." That work resulted in one of the most dynamic and enriching periods of my teaching life, and I hope that my students agree. I am a teacher in part because I was taught so well by so many extraordinary educators in and outside of the classroom. In my experience, teaching is an act of love and transformation. It is an act of faith that we can create a better future, and it is an investment in those who will bring that future into being. At its best, teaching is a calling, a vocation, a way of being. And I'm so grateful that Columbia has provided me the space to practice this part of my calling. And I am most especially grateful to the young people who I have encountered here, all of whom have challenged me to think and learn and grow as I encourage them to do the same. So once again, thank you so much for this most wonderful recognition.
Congratulations, Professors Griffin and Cesavedio. Clearly, we're always on the right track here. I'd like to now have the presentation of the 2021 awards, and that would begin with Mike McCarthy.
Hello, I'm Mike McCarthy, Columbia College class of '83, and it's my great honor to read the citation for Professor Noam Alcott, a fellow Columbia College alumnus. Hello, Noam. Today, the Society of Columbia Graduates honors you for your extraordinary teaching accomplishments and outstanding commitment to undergraduate education at Columbia College. As a Sobel Dunn Chair of Art Humanities and Associate Professor of Art History, you have revolutionized the experience of art humanities for Columbia undergraduates, providing them with a meaningful appreciation of the influence of art and the role it plays in the larger context of history and society. You have also made a dramatic and long-lasting contribution to the core curriculum itself. You graduated summa cum laude from Columbia College in 2000 and earned your PhD in art history from Princeton in 2009. At a symposium celebrating the centennial of the Corps, you proudly pronounced yourself a product of the Corps curriculum. You described your experience as a first semester student in art humanities at Columbia, which unleashed your passion for art history and led you to explore further coursework in the field. From that first semester experience to today, you said you never looked back. Your impressive research and scholarship eventually landed you back at Columbia and as a faculty member in 2008. Since returning to Columbia, you have earned distinction as an internationally known and leading historian of modern art and media in Europe and North America. We recognize you today as an instrumental member of the university community. After enthusiastically teaching art humanities for 10 years, you became chair of art humanities in 2018. In this role, you immediately took on a challenge that none of your predecessors had. You initiated the first major review of the art humanities syllabus since the course was established 70 years earlier. Through your energy and effort, you spearheaded the creation of a new and broader syllabus for the course. In an interview in 2019 with the student newspaper, The Spectator, you explained that the aim of the new curriculum was a deep and good faith effort to make this curriculum as diverse and inclusive as possible, which would introduce students to a more dynamic and complex landscape of art. As an example of your fresh approach to art humanities, one unit of the course now allows students to explore more widely the modern and impressionist movement in France, and also to consider the role of race and gender in the careers in an expanded list of artists and the subjects they painted. In addition to training faculty and graduate instructors on the new syllabus, you continue to give back by teaching the course yourself to the delight of Columbia students. Your students continuously praise your unbridled love of what you teach and have expressed their appreciation for the combination of subject expertise and the student-centered approach you bring to the art humanities classroom. One student commented that you helped me to develop a fresh new way of seeing by studying works of art, while another stated, he's simply the best art hum instructor one could ask for. In recognition of your remarkable accomplishments as an engaging and dedicated teacher who has opened the eyes of so many students and as an innovator in your field, the Society of Columbia Graduates is honored to present you with its 2021 Great Teacher Award.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Dan, as well. Thank you, Society of Columbia Graduates. Thank you, Deans Boyce, and especially thank you, Jim, for so much, including that kind and generous introduction. And thank you for everyone who helped put together this wonderful event and everyone who's made time to attend it. And congratulations and thanks to the other awardees this year. It is a humbling award. When I first looked over the list of recipients, I saw the giants of Columbia College, giants that I knew from my undergraduate days and continue to know in my academic professional capacity. It is the most humbling list I've ever been associated with. And a final and incredibly important thanks to the students, both undergraduate and the graduate students with whom I've worked and whom I've helped train to teach undergraduate students, for making Art Hum and its new iteration possible. Now, many recipients, when they receive this award, inevitably turn to their students. I have to say I'm pulled almost entirely to my teachers. For no one is born a great teacher. They are raised and taught and trained and supported and championed. Great teachers are not born, I just said, but I was fortunate to be born into a family of teachers My grandparents were teachers. My grandmother Jo even taught about and through art. My grandfather Eddie, who only just recently passed away, spent a lifetime teaching underserved students. My mother Shira, a lifelong teacher and rabbi. My father, a Columbia-trained academic with his own teaching award from NYU. I've had models and forums for teaching since before I can remember, and they remain models and they continue to provide forums. Now, I feel my award is somewhat different than the traditional awards in that it recognizes service in the classroom, but it also recognizes work as an art humanities chair in reforming a curriculum. Now, Art Hum was founded in 1947, and when I took the course almost 25 years ago, it was basically the same. And until this past fall, it was pretty much the same as that, which is not a single woman artist and not a single artist of color. And over the last 3 years, with incredible help and enormous effort, we made art humanities the most diverse and inclusive of all the core courses, with women and people of color foregrounded and central to almost all the units of the course. This is something I could never have possibly done alone. My two main partners in this were and remain Jim Valentini, who provided the support, the guidance, the assistance, the advice to make major institutional and lasting institutional reform possible. And also Michael Cole, the chair of the department and also a close colleague and friend who's worked miracles these last years and who helped me marshal our colleagues in the name of a better and wiser and more compelling curriculum. My final thanks is really reserved for why I'm here at all. It's a twofold. The first thanks, in a sense, is to the core curriculum itself and to Columbia College, because it was in my first semester at Columbia College where I took art humanities with Professor Stephen Murray that got me excited about art humanities, about art history. And then in my second semester, the spring semester of my first year, now almost a quarter century ago, where I took the lecture course, the 20th Century Survey with Professor Rosalind Krauss. My senior year of college, I went on to take a seminar with Professor Krauss, and she advised my thesis, and she sent me off to graduate school. And it is her inspiration as a teacher and as a scholar that sent me on the path to become an art historian myself. If I can inspire even one student the way you, Rosalind, have inspired me and so many others, I will have made good on this award. When I joined the committee on the core, Jim spoke regularly of the challenges of human existence and that the core curriculum could speak to the challenges of human existence. And I like to think I may have added one or two things to this fundamental effort that links generations of Columbia students in the core. And I said to Jim, challenges of human existence is an essential thing to study as an undergraduate, but it's not enough. And the core curriculum, I said, ultimately, people don't look to art just for the challenges of human existence. They also look to art and to music and to literature and to philosophy and even to science, also for the joys of human existence. And so we now speak regularly of the core curriculum in terms of the joys and challenges of human existence. And secondly, I like to think that over the last years and in making the art humanities curriculum more diverse and inclusive, we have found a way to engage more diverse joys and more complex challenges of human existence. So to the deans, to the members of the Society of Columbia, graduates, and to all the members of the Columbia community, thank you so much for this wonderful award.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Dan Libby. I hope you can hear me well. I am an alumni of class of 1982 and 1984 from the School of Engineering. And it's my honor to present the Society of Columbia Graduates Great Teacher Award to Professor Adam Elmushtub of the Department of Industrial Engineering and Operations Research. Today, the Society of Columbia Graduates honors you with its Great Teaching Award for outstanding teaching accomplishments and steadfast commitment to undergraduate education at the Fu Foundation School of Engineering and Applied Science. As associate professor at the school and at the Data Sciences Institute, you play a pivotal role in shaping undergraduate education for all engineering students. Cornell University and the Massachusetts Institute of Technology provided you with the academic background to launch your distinguished career. You earned a BS in Operations Research and Engineering at the former in 2009 and a PhD in Operations Research at the latter in 2014. At both institutions, you showed a commitment to student learning by making time in your busy schedule for teaching assistantships. Since joining the Columbia faculty in 2015, you have been actively involved in an impressive array of service to students. You were faculty advisor to Columbia's Informs student chapter, which was awarded cum laude distinctions in 2016 and 2017. You were faculty advisor for the Columbia Mathematical Contest and Modeling Team, 2017 to 2019, a finalist designee in 2017, and a meritorious winner in 2018 and 2019. You have been co-organizer of a number of seminars and colloquium. You took a leading role in modeling courses and communications at the school, and you were a committee member for numerous admissions and hiring committees within the IEOR department and the Data Institute. You advise undergraduate and graduate students in the department and mentor undergraduate students in research as well. You are an active member of the undergraduate committee and a leader in curricular efforts to continuously improve the undergraduate program. You played an important role in developing the analytics concentration for undergraduates, creating a curricular pathway for students interested in leveraging quantitative models, algorithms, and data for making decisions and improved operations. However, nothing could speak louder to your qualification to receive the Society of Columbia Graduates Great Teacher Award than your student evaluations of your teaching, which have been consistently and overwhelmingly positive and enthusiastic. While too numerous to fully list, a couple quotes from your students can be illustrative. Professor Elmushtub is an incredibly passionate lecturer that goes above and beyond simply teaching the math. He focuses on not only walking us through the formulas, but also providing us the intuition as to how they work and why we should use them. Also, unlike other classes, he really makes an effort to walk through the business applications of these algorithms. Professor Elmushtub is single-handedly the most dedicated professor I have had at my time at Columbia. It is evident how much he cares about his course and the material he teaches. In class, we have the opportunity to learn theory and code and have the opportunity to hear from several industry experts as well. It is evident from the material. It is evident from the material the professor covers in class. It will remain relevant and useful far beyond my years at Columbia. Professor Elmushtub, in recognition of your outstanding accomplishments as a gifted and inspirational teacher, for your most important contributions to the university and the School of Engineering and Applied Science, the Society of Columbia Graduates is honored to present you with its 2001 Great Teacher Award.
Thank you so much for that beautiful, those beautiful remarks. I really, really appreciate it, and I'm honored. And thank you to the entire Society of Columbia Graduates and Dan Lehrfeld, who have been very generous and sent me this beautiful line and a bunch of other nice stuff. And I'd also like to thank Deans Boyce, Chang, and Valentini, and my department chair, Jay Satharaman, and my former department chair, Guru Dayangar. they said I have 5 minutes, so I'm going to use them all. And I also want to thank people who really, I could not have done this without, who are my teaching assistants, who I've put a lot of burden on to make my courses impactful and let me shine. So thank you to, in no particular order, to Yicheng Zhou, Jacob Berquist, Hershet, Stephen Yin, Rijie Jia, Yinfen Zhou, Yunji Sun, Brian McNellis, and Minwan Ho. And I want to thank my parents who are watching, Dad and Nabil. Hopefully one day we can come and you can see your name on the Columbia building. And my siblings, Ryan, Sarah, Angie, Joanne, Luna, Kareem, thank you all for being here. And Diane, thank you for yourself being an incredible person and letting me learn so much from you. That helps me in the classroom. I want to actually just say a few things. First of all, this is a really big deal to me because I didn't even know what a PhD was until I applied for it, essentially. My dream was always to be a teacher. So this is crazy that to be recognized for doing what you want to do. It's really humbling, and so many people that I work with are on this, have won this award before me, that make it even extra special. And for me, although I like teaching, it did not come easy. So I would say that when I first started teaching in graduate school, I was terrified, and I would literally physically tremble to the point where, people asked if I was okay, if I needed to stop or something like that. So I decided to sort of get over this fear and start doing things to get better at teaching, because I wanted to do it and just had to overcome some of those things. So one thing I did, for example, is I started doing stand-up comedy, and just what other way can you conquer public speaking by just getting up in front of people and trying to make them laugh. And I also started giving academic talks, and my advisor helped me tremendously. And he said something to me once that I never forget, which was, you should never present in a way where a robot might as well take your place. And I think this, although it sounds kind of obvious, like why, it really made me think that, you should have fun. You should make sure that what you're doing projects onto students and learn how to enjoy what you're doing. And he also taught me that it's important to challenge your students mentally, but not emotionally. And that's something that I always try to do. Columbia students are honestly incredible. They are always up for a challenge. And the coolest thing about Columbia students is that they don't mind it when you push them. They actually like to be pushed and to be challenged. And every year I try to do a little bit more to see how much value, how much extra I can get out of them, because I want them to get as much value as possible from the course, from Columbia, from me. And I did some things that I thought that I learned from being a teaching assistant in business school that I imported to engineering school, and things that my colleagues kind of looked at me like I was crazy, but things like mandatory attendance, no laptops in class, not being late, in-class quizzes, things that kind of seem strict and tough, but students eventually appreciated because it forced them to sort of come to class and enjoy it and participate, especially when students are in their senior year, when they're exhausted and looking towards their future. And especially during this last year, the pandemic, I think, was really tough on everyone, on me, on the students. And I told my students that I was going to push them actually harder than ever, despite all the things going on, because I would be upset if they went through such a hard year and they didn't get anything out of their class, because it's so easy to just not turn on the Zoom, just do the bare minimum and get a passing grade and not really get much out of it. So I told them I would be as pushy as ever, while also being as lenient as ever, for obvious reasons. and they let me push them, and I really appreciated that. And it was a nice break from all the chaos going around every day. And I think the most amazing thing about teaching is that you actually have a real impact. No matter how poorly your research is going, you know that you can make an impact in the classroom that can have a long lasting effect. There's nothing cooler than a student coming up to you and saying, you know, this is a great class, or a few months later saying, something you said during class helped me get that job, or something you said or taught me helped me get that promotion. And so it's a great feeling, and I'm really honored to be a part of this tradition. And once again, I want to thank everyone who was a part of this, in particular the Society of Columbia Graduates. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Al-Mashtub. And thank you to all the professors. This is the point in our program where we would typically, if we were all together, raise a glass in recognition of all the wonderful work you have done with Columbia and with students. And I encourage everybody to grab whatever they have in front of them and to raise their glass. And congratulations, professors. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we have a tradition. Hi there. Yes, you have the glass. Cheers, cheers. We have a tradition where towards the end of our program, we would all stand and sing Sans Souci. And in prior years, you would have had to have listened to myself lead that, which was less than fortunate. This year someone had a very good idea to have a professional sing Sans Souci, and we are incredibly fortunate to have a Columbian College 2018 Mira Davis available and more than willing to treat us to that song. So Mira, if you would, please take it away.
What if tomorrow brings sorrow or anything other than joy? What if to be wintry chill, rainstorm or summer's thrill? Tomorrow's the future still, this is today. Tomorrow's the future still, this is today. Out on life's stormy sea, all of us soon may be far, far away. Still hold your glasses high, here's to youth while it's nigh. Though we tomorrow die, this is today. Though we tomorrow die, this is today. One last toast ere we part, written on every heart, this motto stay. Long may Columbia stand, honored throughout the land, our alma mater grand, now and for aye. Our alma mater grand, now and for aye.
That was really fantastic. I just have a few closing remarks. I want to thank Irina Dimitrov, Logan Lee, and Christina Liu for all of their help putting this together. This is the first time the Society has ever done a Zoom awards ceremony. It is hopefully the last time we ever do a Zoom award ceremony. I want to once again congratulate the awardees and their families. And I want to thank all of you for coming and look forward to seeing you next time in person on campus. So thanks again. This ends our ceremonies. Good night, and hope everyone gets home safely.